Good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center with some severe weather coverage right now because we are tracking two severe thunderstorm warnings in the coverage area. One toward St. Augustine, one toward Tallahassee. So let's go ahead and kind of touch on what is happening. We'll start off with the St. Augustine activity. That's looked a little more impressive here. Right over St. Augustine, right now we're getting some really heavy rain, some hail probably mixed in here as well. As we go to our hail detection software, you can see it right here over St. Augustine right now, getting upwards of about 3/4 of an inch to maybe even an inch in diameter. So you want to go ahead and be inside and away from windows. You see a report there of pea-sized hail a little while ago, 3 miles west-southwest of Volano Beach. And now we're tracking some of this action as we're getting further down toward the south into St. Augustine. Also 50-mile-per-hour winds reported there toward the north and the west there. So I just really watching things very carefully here. As we look over the last little bit with the hail, we had it even a little bit bigger here a moment ago. So went up closer to an inch, maybe even a little bit higher, though we didn't actually get maybe reports of that here yet into our system. We're going to continue to watch here, though, as we look in towards St. Johns County over the next little bit. A severe thunderstorm warning there. And we're watching as this moves right into St. Augustine, the downtown area. I know that's a pretty vulnerable area to flooding, so we just want you to remember to turn around, don't drown. As we look over the last hour, you see some of these numbers, especially the north, a little bit higher, upwards of an inch and a half. Not too much yet in St. Augustine, but that's going to change as they're getting a really nasty storm there. That warning issued there at 2:24. It goes until 3:15 for southeastern St. Johns County. At 2:23, a severe thunderstorm was located over St. Augustine South, or near St. Augustine, moving southeast at about 15 miles an hour. St. Augustine Beach, Crescent Beach, St. Augustine Shores, Butler Beach, Volano Beach, St. Augustine South, Anastasia and DuPont Center there under this severe thunderstorm warning. And we just got a report in on our screen as I started to zoom out. And I'll go to the Tallahassee storm in a second, but then we zoom back in because we just got a hail report on here to an inch in diameter now. Just from moments ago, train spotter reporting hail dime to quarter size, and then tree limbs down and winds in excess of 45 there in the downtown St. Augustine area. So getting some stronger reports in there as we look toward Tallahassee now. We have some action here. A severe thunderstorm located over Tallahassee, moving east at only about 5 miles an hour. Now, I wasn't in a hurry to get to this storm because it's not looking as impressive, at least on this view. But I'm going to switch over because we're going between different storms, different radar sites, so it makes things a little complicated. I do want to pull up our other radar to see if maybe it's being obscured a little bit here. Obscured just a little bit. As we look ahead here, we'll be able to kind of find out what's going on. But as we look at hail, not to an inch on the highest amounts here. And as we look currently, that's about what we're seeing. Maybe actually strengthening here in the last couple frames. Yep. This storm's starting to strengthen now here as we get to a live look at things here. As we're looking, we're headed there northeast side of Tallahassee, south of Interstate 10. So this is as we take off the radar, we're looking here again toward northeastern Tallahassee with some hail potentially falling here. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for west central Jefferson as they kind of broaden the warning out there. Also, southeastern Leon until 3:15. At 2:29, a severe thunderstorm was located over Tallahassee, moving east at about 5 miles per hour, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. Tallahassee, Florida A&M, Tallahassee Community College, Florida State University, Doak Campbell Stadium. Also getting over toward the Macon Community Park, Tallahassee Memorial Hospital, Killarney Estates, Lake Ella, Wakena, Tallahassee Mall, Washissa Springs, State Capitol Complex, and Governor Square Mall there. So pretty highly populated zone. You see your typical summertime storms, but may have a better chance of them today. The patterns kind of come into focus here that we're going to be seeing these higher rain chances. We were talking about it yesterday, PM storms here today on your election day, and that's what we're starting to really see evolve across the region with even some isolated severe weather, not all over the place, but in spots we're seeing some severe weather potentially occurring. We'll get to the Tallahassee radar now so we can get really close in here and examine what is happening in the Tallahassee, Leon County area. You'll be able to see what is going on here. we're looking around Interstate 10. We're starting to see some wind energy to the south of there, so on up now. So starting to get a little more interesting here, unfortunately, as we're looking toward, it looks like Surgeon's Drive, so right near the hospital there, I would assume Centerville Road in there too. So Crestview Avenue, you also see State Highway 151, so some stronger winds there toward Leon County, and that's kind of on the periphery here, which is interesting to see. And oh wow, this has got really strong here. Looks right near Silver Maple Drive, also getting here toward Astor Way. So just want to go ahead, Violet Street there. So some strong winds showing up on the periphery here. Doesn't mean maybe this is all reaching the surface, but interesting to see some really strong winds in toward Tallahassee. We're going to go back to the storm towards St. Augustine now. We just got an update here. They're now going nickel-size hail, so let's go ahead and go. You'll be able to see what I'm talking about at 2:40. Severe thunderstorm was located over St. Augustine shores there near St. Augustine, moving southeast at about 15 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, nickel-size hail, the threats here. St. Augustine Beach, Crescent Beach, St. Augustine Shores. You get the idea. We're watching that situation very carefully in toward parts of that region there. We're talking about Interstate 95 in toward parts of St. Johns County with some of that concern. So we're going to be monitoring things. We're watching 2 highly populated areas under severe thunderstorm warnings. The one here, of course, we're tracking for parts of St. Johns County until 3:15. It got issued about 2:24. And then the warning there issued at 2:29 for Jefferson and Leon. That goes until 3:15 as well. But back to the St. Augustine area storm, we have our other radar up. We're seeing maybe a little bit of rotation or a downburst here on our GR level 3 computer as we just got it to update. You kind of saw that there just a second ago. Well, live version showing a little bit more disorganized of action here. So that's some good news. We're looking more toward Butler Beach now, but you still see some of this as we get up to the north. Some rain there, maybe some hail potential. Though the wind's starting to leave parts of St. Augustine. The areas here off toward the eastern side and downtown, though, getting in the action pretty good, unfortunately. And so things evolving here, getting the latest updates to keep on coming in. As things may be weakening a little, you saw that purple kind of fade away a little bit. So that's some good news. We have some other candidates, unfortunately, for some severe weather. As we look up toward Duval County, you see wind about 50 showing up here. So this isn't a severe thunderstorm. I'll go ahead and take that warning information off. At least it's not one right now as of the latest information from the Weather Service. But we're going to be watching here northwest of Atlantic Beach, south of American Beach, getting into some of this wind energy here. 47 miles an hour showing up. So we'll be looking out towards Stark. Not too much right now, but you see this boundary here. You can kind of see this boundary, and we're seeing some storms evolve. So we'll have to watch here. Not much wind energy at all right now. We had quite a bit of rain as we got out there toward parts of Bradford County last night. I don't know if it'll come up on here right now. No, it's just going to today's rain, but we had quite a bit of rain here as we were looking up toward Lodi last night. So I just have to be cognizant there of some of that minor flooding potential here, as we've alluded to with St. Augustine, for instance. We'll get over to St. Augustine right now. Look over the last hour. You can see most of the rain to the north as of the updates from a few minutes ago. But we'll be watching to see how the rain kind of fills on in here towards St. Augustine over the next little bit. Again, some severe weather taking place right now here across the region. We have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. The hail indicator coming up even a little bit higher on our other tool now as we look into toward Tallahassee. So let's go ahead and pop this on. We'll be able to see what is happening right now. And it almost looks like a face or something trying to show up with a hail indication, which is interesting. We are pretty close to the radar, so it might be obscuring exactly what's reaching the ground. But you see here, we're looking toward northeast Tallahassee with hail upwards of 1 inch in diameter right now. And so you just want to be really taking heed. Nothing too extreme, but still nasty conditions. And speaking of Tallahassee, Let's pop up our weather stem camera at the FSU right now. I know some students coming back there amid the coronavirus threat, but moving in already. Some of them on campus there for a bit and trying to get accustomed to what is happening here. As the moving the time frame started there last week, and still really continues. So FSU weather stem now, the stadium camera. It kind of gives you a viewpoint of what is happening in the eyes, per se, and you can see the dark skies there. It looks like the worst is staying away from FSU right now, so that's some good news. But we're going to continue to watch here as we're looking toward, it looks like, a couple of these different roads that go in really tight here on my system. We're getting Don Lauren Lane to come up. So this is on the east side, really away from the university by a couple miles or so. So that's some good news. I'll even show you where the university is as we cut away from the weather stem camera right now. And we're sticking with it because we're in highly populated areas, Tallahassee and in St. Augustine, with storms that look like they're producing severe weather already reported. Maybe some hail to about quarter size earlier. So let's pop up now our GR level 3 computer. I'll get that situated as we move away from our camera site there, and you see the stadium is down here. That's FSU in this general area right here. You can kind of see my mouse, and now I'll put the radar on, and you see the accent here that kind of builds even some more off toward the east. We're really getting into things. I know it might be kind of nasty here of people trying to vote. Unfortunately, the storms here in the afternoon hours getting going near Wood Rich Drive there in toward Leon County. You see that wind energy showing up here. A busy afternoon in the weather center. And we're seeing this also here near, it looks like US 27. So a severe thunderstorm warning in play until 3:15. Again, at 2:29, a severe thunderstorm located over Tallahassee and only moving east there at about 5 miles an hour. So in terms of the rainfall information over the last hour, we've seen upward of 1.5 inches, 2 inches near Interstate 10 and US 319 there. We're going to see that rain kind of fall further down here as you're seeing the accent expand as I go back and go forward. You can kind of see what I'm talking about. We'll do that one more time. And you'll be able to see here this accent getting going around Tallahassee. So I just want to be inside and away from windows without frequent lightning. Even if you're not experiencing maybe the severe conditions right now, you just have to be aware. And I just talking about severe weather all over the place. We're not seeing this into our zone here, but we're talking about other areas. We're getting quite a few warnings to pop as well. Of course, we're getting it in our region. What I'm saying is we're seeing it's not just limited to our viewing circle here. So let's go ahead now and show you what is happening toward the south. So Daytona Beach there getting into some of this action. And you see till 3:30 East Central Volusia County. East Central Volusia County there, located over Port Orange, moving east at about 10 miles per hour. Daytona Beach, Port Orange, New Smyrna Beach, South Daytona there. Osceola County, Kissimmee, St. Cloud under some severe weather threat there. And even toward the north, we have some warnings in the Charleston CWDA, Peachtree City as well. We're looking out toward Scriven County there, Hampton and Allendale as well. And then this is in South Georgia there, getting toward Emmanuel County. So a lot of warnings in play all of a sudden here, but 2 in our viewing area. We're watching the one toward Tallahassee, and then the warning here as we get toward parts of St. Johns County. You see that report here earlier. We got hail maybe upwards of 1 inch in diameter being reported there, about 3 miles or so. Well, actually, this is 1 mile northwest of St. Augustine. So the other report here, 2 miles northwest of Volcano Beach with winds to about 52 miles an hour. That's before the warning was even issued. So things pretty active here on this Tuesday afternoon. As you see, the warning toward Osceola got taken off, but the 2 warnings in our region still stand. And you might be wondering, as I zoom out here, you can kind of see some of these icons. You might be wondering what these icons are here. These are actually hurricane model data here that I have in the system plotted. I'll probably take them off here in just a second. But we are watching two systems here in the tropics as well. We'll keep our eyes on them. Models are kind of all over the place here, and these may not even be really the best model information that we use here as we look. This is more GFS based. As you see, one system may be coming in the Gulf closer toward New Orleans, the other toward Brownsville, but don't focus too much on this right now. I just thought I'd point out what we're showing. You see model data here, other models that are a little more reliable right now, kind of all over the place. So we're watching tropics, but don't get stressed out about it right now. But pay attention. We'll give you more later on tonight on our exclusive Twitter update. It'll be exclusive to Twitter if there's not active severe weather here in the Jacksonville region. Now, if there's quite a bit of action going on, may just be on both platforms here. So I'll keep the stream going as I'm going to go ahead and wrap the update up for now. And I'm back around 3 o'clock with more information. So again, we're watching some severe weather around Tallahassee. A severe thunderstorm warning continues for Leon there. Jefferson just got cleared out. West Central Jefferson just got cleared out there. And then over St. Johns County, we're talking about southeastern St. Johns until 3:15 as well. We'll be back around 3 o'clock. Some areas already getting some rain cold air. As you can see there toward the Craig Municipal Airport, 78 degrees there, and toward eastern Duval County, but other spots still pretty warm with the storms around. I'll see you back here at 3 o'clock. Meteorologist Casey Cloud back here in the top of the hour. We're giving you the latest information right now on what is happening here in the Weather Center with some severe weather. And we do have some severe thunderstorm warnings in play right now. You do see a severe thunderstorm warning as we get out toward Tallahassee, out toward the St. Augustine area as well. So let's kind of dive back into what is going on. You see the severe thunderstorm warning toward Tallahassee right now. This one is affecting eastern parts of town, northeastern parts of town here, and we'll go over to the other Doppler radar tool that we have. You'll be able to see our GR level 3 computer right now, and you can see here some of this wind energy maybe not as pronounced as it was a few minutes ago, so that's some good news. But as I zoom on in here, you can see a few minutes ago we were seeing this wind energy around, it looks like Cross Creek Circle, some of these other roads I was mentioning here as well. So something people were really taking heed of, but it's kind of faded away some at this point. So that's some good news, but we're going to continue watching here as we're looking out toward Leon County there with a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for about another 12 minutes or so. Southeastern parts of Leon County, and just going to continue to stay tuned here to, again, what is taking place there. And as we move towards St. Johns County, you'll be able to see the accent. It also looks a little weaker as we go to our GR Earth computer here. You'll be able to see this is till 3:15 for southeastern St. John's. At 2:40, it's a thunderstorm located over St. Augustine shores or near St. Augustine, moving southeast at about 15 miles per hour. So St. Augustine Beach, Crescent Beach, St. Augustine shores, Butler Beach, South or St. Augustine South, Volano Beach, Anastasia, all under this. So we're going to continue to watch. I'll be back here in a few more minutes for more information. back here in the Weather Center with another update. 3:07, you do see 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, make it 1 severe thunderstorm warning remaining in effect here in our area. It's the one there toward the St. Augustine area. It just has been allowed to expire there by the National Weather Service. Technically, it'll go till 3:15, but they just took that off the board. I'll back it up. You'll see what I'm talking about. You can tell that this warning here going to expire at 3:15, though it already goes away as the storm, which has prompted the warning, has weakened below severe limits and has exited the warned area. Therefore, the warning will be allowed to expire, and that's some good news. Still looking toward Tallahassee, where we're getting some wind damage reports now coming in. Quite a few of them, actually. As we look out toward, it looks like 2:43 or so, we had report there of some trees down across both lanes of one of the area roadways here. And we're watching as we look toward 2:45. Also, some trees down on power lines. This is in the Falls Chase area. At 2:45, also a tree down on Mahan there with the right-hand lane blocked. He's just getting into the system, and at 3:01, I go to the south here, a tree down blocking a lane of traffic as well, 1 mile east of the Indian Head Acres area. So just getting quite a bit of damage here. I'm a little surprised we're getting to this bright of an area, but we're close to the radar, so sometimes we're not getting a perfect representation of what's happening at the surface. So 4 damage reports there in toward Tallahassee, and I'm going to check some power outage information behind the scenes as well here. We'll look at some of the poweroutage.us data right now. I'll be able to kind of give you some more perspective on how things are translating there as we look at state of Florida power outages. We have 8,376 in the state, and those can be for a variety of reasons. But as I get down toward the Sunshine State itself and look at the individual county information, I'll be able to see that Leon County right now, 2,083 customers in the dark right now. So this storm having an impact here really intensified as we were on air, honestly, right as we were starting to track it. You could see there were signs of strengthening with it, and we were on there as things were getting pretty bad in these areas, it looks like, based on the times of when these damage reports did at least take place. The damage took place, and the reports are delayed a little bit as you have to get the information processed and then into the system. But from when the damage actually took place, about right there, we were on the air covering things. So I'm just trying to keep everybody safe there in toward the Big Bend, toward St. Johns County, only 264 customers. So despite a pretty impressive hail signature there, it didn't seem like we had too much wind energy maybe translating, knocking out much in the way of power. Volusia County, outside of our area, is standing out with a little over 2,000 customers in the dark as well. So the Daytona Beach area being impacted by a severe storm there. I'll pop that on real quick, not in our region, of course, but just kind of noteworthy. You're seeing a hail signature, hail upwards of a little over an inch in diameter, maybe, just east of Interstate 95 between Ponce Inlet there and New Smyrna Beach. So they're getting into some of that right now on our live hail tracker. Not much hail, but a little bit of hail showing up in a little bit different spot now due north of Tallahassee as things are expanding toward FSU. Kind of interesting to see. I back it up here, and you can see now FSU starting to get more into the action. They're under the warning, but the storm action we've been tracking going more east and now southeast there at about 5 miles an hour, but we're getting some back building, so we might be seeing some rain on the camera lens there at FSU, and a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit showing up there right now on the weather stem camera. So looking at the stadium, and how students there on campus moving in. So just wanting to be careful with some thunder around. When thunder roars, you want to go indoors as things are expanding toward campus there now, and some of that rain starting to fall as evidenced by the imagery. So again, we're going to continue to watch here. We're going to continue to give you the latest information as things do transpire. And I'll be here in the Weather Center as we wait for this 3:15 expiration time. And I'll go ahead and pop up the radar right now to see what is happening here once again. As we get into Tallahassee, you see the reports, the storm there. We also have on my radar scope computer the rain there, the storms starting to evolve around Stark. I was just looking in between updates off toward the east, and you can see some action getting on going there as we get toward Clay County. Radar scope computer does tell the story with that. As you see this boundary here, I'll put this into motion. If you want some of this action now, you see some other action coming from the west, and then the boundary coming from the east, and that causes storms to erupt here in this dark area. And probably going to have some lightning evolve out of this here. Already getting lightning off toward the east. So you just want to, again, if you hear that thunder, that means you're close enough to be struck by lightning. And you see some lightning as we get down toward the High Springs area and between there and Bell. So we're going to have to watch here. Things start to maybe fill in here. Pretty active afternoon, it looks like, with those high rain chances we've been alluding to in our updates. And we're seeing the nasty conditions here come to fruition, it seems, across North Florida this afternoon. So we're still watching that warning out toward Tallahassee. I'll go ahead and pop up our other system again as we're looking in toward the Tallahassee region. You can see that we are watching some of the alert potential out there. We'll go over to our GR Earth computer to see the broad view once again. And you'll be able to get some better perspective on what is happening at the present time as we get back down here in toward Leon County now on velocity. Looks like more of the wind energy off toward the west now. So these areas that have been harder hit, it seems like they're catching a break. So despite the action technically moving southeast, we're getting the really action to evolve toward the west here. As you can see, I back it up and go forward. You're seeing that expand to the west there, and we're getting really right there at Florida State now. So there's the stadium. We can't get in too far. It'll kind of block us out there as it's hard for the map data to really be able to show what is happening as we get too far in. But you can see here as we get right around the stadium, some of this rain starting to evolve there. So we'll have to continue to watch as we monitor things here on this Tuesday afternoon. So again, severe thunderstorm warning for another minute. We'll see what the Weather Service does here with this. See if they extend this as we look toward the Florida Big Bend. Again, severe weather happening right now. Looking at power outage information and staying pretty steady. I'm going to check some things I have behind the scenes here. It looks like a significant weather advisory now for parts of Leon Gadsden, so that kind of adds up with that warning polygon going away. This is till 3:45 for Leon and Gadsden here, so it looks like just a couple minutes ago they sent this out at 3:13. Strong thunderstorm over the stadium now, Doak Campbell Stadium. At FSU, we're over Tallahassee, moving now west at 5, so things switching directions now. As they're tracking some different areas, and now they're tracking, instead of southeast, we're tracking about west, and things can change directions here as we're watching other action evolve this time of year. Midway, Tallahassee, Woodville, Quincy, Florida State University, of course, Florida A&M, Tallahassee Community College, the stadium there at FSU, Lake Bradford, Leon Sinks, the Gaither Community Center, Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. You get the idea. We're continuing to monitor things here in the Weather Center this afternoon with some of the strong wind. Again, we're pretty close to the stadium as we're looking here in toward Leon County with some of this. So right now there are no active warnings in the market, so that's some good news. I'll go ahead and broaden the view back out right now, and we'll show you what is taking place. It looks like a home struck by lightning, resulting in the house catching fire and a partial roof collapse there in toward areas near Jacksonville Beach, just a mile or so away from there. So that's not what you want to hear. No injuries, luckily, though, and that is some good news. But again, a home struck by lightning there in the Jacksonville Beach area. We're getting that report in from just a little while ago. And it resulted in a home catching fire and a partial roof collapse there. So even if you're not getting severe weather, if you look to Duval County, they weren't under a warning. They still had a significant event happen, at least for one person there or one family, because of some lightning. And that's always what you got to take heed of this time of year. If you're not under a warning, you can still be close enough to be struck by lightning. So again, we're watching things, no active warnings at the present time. And that's good news. So if that doesn't change here in the next minute or two, I'll wrap things up. We'll go over to radar scope again because we're seeing some of this action evolve even a little bit further now into toward parts of Bradford County. So let me go ahead and zoom on in here. You see right near the Bradford-Clay County line, there'll be some small hail developing here as we're looking east of 100, State Road 100. And toward Bradford County, you see Penny Farms there was getting into some of that action. As we also see down toward Alachua County, more lightning on the board there. And I think a good camera we can say that looks to the southwest of Lake Butler is the Union County Emergency Management camera. And we'll see what is taking place there right now with the actual sky view. You see some of those clouds, some darker clouds there coming into view as well. So this severe thunder, that means you're close enough to be struck by lightning. You just want to be aware here of what is taking place on this Tuesday afternoon with some of these different inclement weather conditions. We see down toward Flagler County some lightning kind of showing up a little more robust there. As we look toward Palm Coast, you see a little bit of wind energy as well. We'll have to watch to see if we get a warning down toward Flagler County over the next little bit as some of this does continue to develop here. And I'll go ahead now pop up our other radar view once again. You see that significant weather advisory toward Tallahassee. We'll go ahead and say you here a little bit better view of what is taking place here. With some of this, we're starting to get more wind energy involved here just north of the airport. So let's talk about what is going on here. You see, as we get down here near, it looks like Appleyard Drive here, maybe winds to about 30 or 40 miles an hour, and just want to be ready for anything that can happen here. We'll look at some of our wind gust information at the airport. We're not getting much information out of the airport right now. It doesn't look like, there we go. It just popped up on my instant. Not too high of winds though, 25 knots. So that's under tropical force there. So 25 knots, not getting even to that high of a value there. As we get over back to our DR Earth computer, we'll continue to monitor things here though in the weather center as we look at some other things. I'm going to put on our energy, see how storms might evolve here further throughout the afternoon. Of course, you have to focus on some boundaries, but you see quite a bit of energy around, a lot of energy. That's a lot as we get up toward Jacksonville there and toward Ocala. We're getting closer to 6,000 joules per kilogram in toward parts of Duval County, so on. And that tells you that there's a lot of fuel here for some of these storms to be occurring across our region. So you just have to stay aware. This is our storm fuel graphic, pretty much. That's what that is indicative of. So we'll continue to watch, but since we don't have any new warnings on the board right now, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. But if we have warnings that we really need to touch on in highly populated areas or higher confidence of damage, we'll make sure we cut in here to give you the very latest information to protect you, your friends, and your family. Stay safe here with the weather conditions, with that lightning around here on this election day. I'm meteorologist Casey Cloud. Thanks so much for tuning in.